Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh my goodness, this video, get ready because it's exciting. Many of you know that I am in the middle of doing my master's in country house studies. Yes, that's a thing. And my subject is our unknown American heiress, Alberta Sturgis, my husband's great-grandmother. And throughout this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys some letters that I've just come across and which, well, I thought we had a lot in common, but these letters prove that, well, some people have said that almost as if sort of I'm Alberta reincarnated. Now, I don't personally believe in reincarnation, but sometimes I'm starting to question it because what I've been uncovering here in the Muniment room, which is the archive room of within Mapperton House. Now, what makes Alberta so unbelievably special is that she was an archivist herself. The majority of these boxes that you see behind me, these box files, are filled with not only letters that Alberta received herself, but also letters that Alberta wrote. We reckon we have around 12,000 letters. And if you can imagine that each of these letters have roughly an average of 6 pages each, that is 72,000 pages of archive right there. And Alberta was a yogi just like me. Recently, I was in India. So I hosted a yoga retreat in India. Details down below because I'll be hosting another one in November 2024. But recently I hosted one in Udaipur at an extraordinary palace called Bujera Fort. And while I was there, I knew that Alberta had visited India several times, but we hadn't quite yet embarked on transcribing those letters. So I'm going to read a couple of these letters because the synergy between Alberta and I is absolutely extraordinary, and it's almost as if I'm following in her footsteps. She marries George Montague, who eventually became the 9th Earl of Sandwich in 1916. But prior to them ascending to that title, if you like, they were married in 1905 and traveled to India, end of 1912, beginning of 1913. So fast forward now to my trip recently in India, and this blew my mind. Thrilled that this video is sponsored by Surfshark, which has helped me so much, especially when traveling abroad. So if you have some travel plans coming up anywhere in the world, listen up because you are not going to want to leave home without Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, a virtual private network, to keep your details and information safe online. I travel out of the country about every 6 weeks, and I always use Surfshark whenever I need to get online. Anyone who tries to snoop on you, and sadly there are more and more people trying to do this, won't be able to see what you are doing or where you're doing it at all from your location. Did you know that when we connect to those public Wi-Fis at cafes, restaurants, or even those public spaces, it's less safe and therefore really important for you to use a VPN on these public networks because it encrypts your data and keeps your details and information safe. You can even access your bank safely on those public Wi-Fis, and I feel so much better and safer when I use Surfshark. Plus, it's so easy to use. You just download the app onto your computer and you can switch to a different IP address in a different country, which hides your own IP address from hackers so that those hackers think you're in one country when you're actually not. But the big bonus for me is streaming. I can travel the world in just one click. For example, if you're traveling anywhere in the world and want to connect to an American or UK server and access the biggest movie catalog on Netflix, well, you need Surfshark. Get an exclusive Surfshark Black Friday deal. Enter the promo code VICOUNTESS to get up to 6 additional months for free using the link down below. I was at the same place that Alberta was. She was there in 1912, and I was there in 2023. So she writes again to Darling Motherkins. It's dated December 16th, 1912, Udaipur. We have had a wonderful time here. The guest of the Raja, who is ill, therefore whom we couldn't see. It's called by all who know the place the fairy castle and kingdom of India. The ruler is of the bluest blood because he is the only one who never permitted anyone of his house to marry a commoner. And today he sets the rules that all royal houses obey. And the palace that she's talking about is Taj Lake Palace, which you might recognize from the James Bond film Octopussy, and which I was able to, during my trip recently, to go out onto the lake, and we were able to film all around it. She continues to write, here we go. This is the most exclusive and medieval of all the palaces in India. The great white castle, the size of Windsor, built on the rock above the lakes with towers and battlements, one above the other of white marble, thriving with life. Below the castle lies the famous Piccola Lake. I was able to go out on that lake. It was so exciting. 4 miles long, containing several islands on which are built amazingly beautiful palaces of white marble where the Raja goes for tea. And we even had to stop off at one of these places. We didn't get tea, but we had ice cream. Still, we have nothing to complain of. For nearly 3 weeks, we have been the guest of Jodhpur, Udaipur, with motors, elephants, carriages at our disposal, and now here until the 21st Saturday when we go to Delhi. So I just thought that was absolutely wonderful. And she ends it with, it's a thrilling journey, which we are very much enjoying. All hearts love, Alberta. So for me, you can imagine being able to be in a place that Alberta traveled to, not just once, but several times throughout her life, but also to find the letters. And I think for me, that is just incredibly moving and special, and really does warm my heart, because I want to bring Alberta and her memory to life. I want her to be remembered with such a warm, kind heart, generous, giving towards others, service towards others. And this is a story that needs to be told. And I think maybe she thought so herself. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why she has this incredible archive. And it's incredible. It is the largest American heiress collection of letters, diaries, and journals. And I cannot wait to continue to share this journey with you. It's all really fascinating, and I just want to say a huge thank you to Team Adriatic and Emily within that team, who beautifully transcribed these letters I just read. The virtual volunteer program, we created team names based around the White Star liners that would travel between the US and Europe. And interestingly enough, Team Adriatic is just one of the team's names. We've got a Queen Mary, we've got Regina, and several others. But interestingly enough, in Alberta's archives, we recently found some stationery from the Adriatic. Can you believe it? And I sent it to all the virtual volunteers, and everybody was super excited. So do be sure to follow along with my research. I tend to go live quite often, so make sure that you turn notifications on so you can be one of the first to know when I'm hosting a live session, when I'm reading what we have recently uncovered from the many, many archives here. So be sure to turn notifications on, subscribe, like, comment down below, and thank you all very, very much. I'm certain that there's going to be many, many more similarities found between Alberta and I coming soon. Bye, everybody.